Howell. Here.
We have public comment. This is our first public comment, and we open it up for anyone who wishes to speak to the committee, anything on the committee agenda today. If there's anybody who cares to speak, please come to the end, state your name, and we'll give you 3 minutes. I see the only person here today that wants to speak in public comment is Deputy Executive Sean Carlson. So we're gonna give him a little bit of time here in public comment.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Thank you, Finance Committee. I just wanted to give you an update. As I mentioned, I think it was in the ED&I Committee back in October that I would be trying to get in front of the ED&I and Finance just to give you a status update on the Pontiac initiative in regards to the move there. As I mentioned at that time, we have broken this down into 4 major components. The first one, from a bidding perspective, the first one has to do with an owner's rep. And so we went through that process with the owner's rep. We received 9 bids. Actually, we had a site visit prior to when the bids were due. We had 10 companies come forward at that site visit. That was not a pre-qualifier. Even if you didn't go to the site visit, you could have still put in a bid. But we had 10 show up for that. 9 of them put in bids. We narrowed that down, the evaluation committee, to 4, and then we extended a tentative award to the Farbin Group. I say tentative award because there hasn't been an appropriation specifically for this project yet. So this needs to come over in a resolution, and that resolution will be coming over to ED&I and the Finance Committee in the coming days. And that will be for to the Farbin Group. And we'll have that written up. So I wanted to keep you abreast of that. The other thing that we're in the process of doing, we also have an RFQ that's out there for A&E, but there's 3 major components. It's not just the architect and engineering portion of 31 Judson, which is Ottawa Tower 2. That is where we intend to move the county employees into. We also have a component in there for community engagement, which is really important to this project, and also urban planning. And those are different components. We offered the opportunity during the solicitation for people to come as a package or to come individually. We had 14 A&E companies show up to the site visit. 8 of them put in proposals. And of those 8, we have down selected 5 to interview. Those interviews will start to take place on January 22nd. There's 3 different evaluation committees going on through that process. One, to specifically look at the proposals as they relate. We've looked at all the proposals, but specifically look at the presentations as they relate to A&E. There'll be another subgroup that is meeting to look at the urban planning. And then there'll be another subgroup that is reviewing the community engagement. It's possible that a proposal, a firm could win all 3, and it's possible that there could be 3 different awards. So we're gonna go through that process, and we're in the midst of that process right now. At the end of January, possibly the beginning of February, we will put an RFP out there for the construction management of 31 Judson. And we will also put out for the development. The development will have to do with the parking garage that is gonna be a requirement. But there's a lot of other components with the development as well. So that is not out on the street. We're a little bit behind schedule. I know that I mentioned the last time I was in front of you of the construction management going out potentially in December, and the property development in January. We're gonna look to put both of those out probably the end of January, beginning of February. And that's the schedule. And they'll be out on the street. Typically, a solicitation, federal government requirements is usually 28 to 35 days. We're gonna leave these out on the street at least 6 to 8 weeks This is a critical project for Pontiac, especially for us and the county, especially as it relates to the development portion. So that's what we're going on with the 4 different components. We did put in our $50 million request. I mentioned that for the enhancement grant. We worked through Senator Moss. Unfortunately, I don't think that was brought up to M&B until Pontiac's request was done, which was 30 to 45 days after. So it's only been recent. I think the end of November, beginning of December, when that request was finally put up through management budget. We are expecting the disbursement of those funds sometime this month. And I imagine the disbursement will also take place with Pontiac at the same time. The significance of that is, as you recall in the agreement, is that upon disbursement of those funds to Pontiac is when the Phoenix garage officially will be moved over to the county. Right now, we are the leaseholder of that. We are not the owners of the garage. Pontiac is. So I think that's an important distinction to remind everybody of. And I think that's really it. I just wanted to make sure that I was keeping you all informed from a status update perspective. We probably will be reaching out, and I'll work through Chairman Woodward to see if there's interest by having some of the commissioners on the development and the construction management evaluation committee. That is typically not something we do, but this is not a typical procurement either. So that's it for a status update.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Carlson. This was a little bit unconventional to have you come during public comment, but
Yes,
I know,
I think
I
it
love
worked out okay.
unconventional.
Start off the new year right.
Okay.
Sure, quick question. I know it's public comment. Can we respond or ask questions? Or
We don't normally do back and forth in the public comment, and this was like a very last minute, and I don't wanna mess with getting this meeting done. So what I would like to do is ask for you to schedule into like EDI in the next.
But certainly in the next cycle, we can come and give the same report.
Yeah, and that
Have some
will
more
open it up for a lot more
And if any
questions.
commissioners have any questions, feel free to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that you
Yeah,
came and
thank
brought
you.
us up to
Yes.
speed, but for more detail and back and forth, it really belongs in
Questions,
the other committee.
on the agenda.
Yep. Okay. All right, so with that, and no one else, I will close public comment and we will move on to communications.
Yeah, I'll call.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I will take a motion to receive and file the communications from Commissioner Smith Charles and
We're gonna put them on the agenda, I think, for questions.
second.
Support by Commissioner Rahman. Any comments or questions on the communications?
I have a couple questions.
On the communications? Okay,
Oh, that's right.
Commissioner Cavell?
Is anyone from the treasurer's office here?
I don't think
Oh, for the tax, for the, both of them are B and C.
Well, I think it's
yeah.
just important to note then, I don't know if any of you know, just being here longer, we have $600 million in cash, if I understood it right. So I don't know how, in terms of our investment pool, so I don't know if that's usually how it goes, out of the one.
Are you on B, that delinquent?
He's on A.
No, no,
Yeah.
he's looking at
Oh, you're on A,
Financial
okay.
Just in
report.
terms of
Oh,
our,
no one's here for A.
is that normal? You know, out of 1.8
Yeah.
billion to have 600 million, is that a high, you know, feels like a lot of cash. I don't know, I'm just using my own 401k as like a,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
is that right? So, but can I ask offline, and then the second thing to
Yeah,
mention,
why don't you talk to them offline since nobody's here?